Welcome to All Ball. Format unique, all access for all y'all. What the spiel like? Back full of elite athletes that want to teach and it speaks
and
to
the
the
little
streets, so it
refrigerator.
feel right. Marcus Liberty, a legend on and off the coast to give you what you need. Robert Reed is your co-host. Go. Yeah. Like and subscribe and follow like a crossover. Never know when might fall through this bitch tomorrow. So, All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All Ball Chicago. All I know is All Ball Chicago.
Welcome to another edition of All Ball Chicago. I'm your co-host, Robert Bobby Reed, and I got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host, Marcus, living in the building. What's up, Marcus?
Man, get your trash ass out of here.
Oh, boy, you don't want none of this shit right here, boy. I tell your ass up. 6'8" motherfucker couldn't guard me. I was a 6'8" motherfucker, I'm going around his big ass. Now, I know I can't guard you. You 6'8". But you can't guard me, live on that perimeter. I don't give a fuck nobody talking
about. All we got to do is go get that 29.5, man, and let's see what happens. That's all. I'm eating too. I'm eating a little sandwich right quick, though. So.
Man, it's all Ball Chicago. You can do everything. You can do everything. This is the All Trash Podcast today. We talking trash today, man. Who was the best trash talkers, man?
Right.
Growing up, man. You know, it's so many of them, man. It was a dude in my neighborhood I would always tell you about. His name was Mike Rags, man. This dude used to talk so much trash, and then he was funny. So he could signify, too. So, So he's signifying on you, cracking on you, and killing you at the same time. Everybody on the sideline laughing and he killing you, too. Well, I knew many people wanted to whoop Mike Rags' ass. Boy, people want to whoop his ass all the time, but you couldn't.
But he backed it up.
He
bagged it up. Yeah, it's
give us 5 more monkeys. Give us 5 more. What do you say? Give us 5 more monkeys. These monkeys couldn't dance. He used to that. It was just like, oh, okay, I'm a monkey now. Just because you beat me, I'll be back.
So a lot of our people on our timeline is saying Billy Harris talked a lot of trash.
I would have loved to pay. I would have paid money to hear Billy Irish. But we did get a little small snippet of that video from the past when he was talking on that. I dug up that one from the crates when he was talking. He was like,
they said Lee Cummings too. Lee Cummings talked a lot of trash.
Ooh, Lee Cummings. Ooh, I remember, man. He used to come up to my park in my neighborhood, him and Terry. And Lee, remember we was talking to Terry about that. You remember Lee was physically imposing, and he never smiled. Remember?
I'm gonna tell you one, man. When I was coming up, Tracy Dildy
still talk trash.
Used to talk trash, boy.
All day long. I ain't never seen
all day long.
I never been between the lines, man, with Tracy, but I heard he was the king of it too.
Yeah, Tracy, Ice talked a lot of trash, man. Yeah, but yeah, this segment we wanted to do trash talkers, you know, from the NBA to the hood. You know, of course, we know some of the guys that did it, you know, pretty doggone good in the NBA. And GP is one of the ones that come to mind when I think of a trash talker, the guy that was in the NBA that did it. Gary Payton. Gary Payton talked a lot of trash.
Did he?
I think he told one kid he was D'ing him up so much, and the kid started talking trash back to him. And Gary told him, you might not even be in the league next year.
Hey, somebody said turn our Facebook Live on. You got it, right?
Yeah, it's on.
It's on.
On my page.
Is it public?
Let me see.
I don't see it. I don't see the stream.
On mine?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's on live.
It's on.
But let me see. Let me go to the All Ball Chicago page. Yeah, it's not up on that. Oh no, it's up. It's on there. Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, I see it. It's on there. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so he comes to mind, right? Gary Payton and another guy, Larry Bird. Larry Bird talked a lot of trash.
Man, I love the stories about Larry Bird. You know, you sit back and you hear about all the stuff that they say, how he would tell people he gonna go to this spot, and he gonna make the shot,
right? And Mike
and make it,
and Mike Jordan. Mike Jordan talked trash. I mean, I want to know from some of our viewers, right? When you had somebody that talked trash and couldn't back it up, what do you do? Like when somebody's talking trash and they can't back it up, do you go back at them and say, "Man, you garbage"? Or how do you go back at them? Because they gonna keep talking. Because I didn't seen a lot of these guys like that, Bob. They talk a lot of trash and they can't back it up, but they keep talking.
You just get them one of these numbers. For real. Like, no, for real. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Take that damn ball out and give it here, man.
And get out the way.
Get out the way. I always used to tell people that was their best move they ever made against me. Take that motherfucker out and give it to me.
But what are some of the words they used to say? Like I remember my older brother Stretch, he used to shoot the long ball and he would say, "Come and get these trays, waiter. Come and get these trays, waiter." What are some of the things that some of the words that people used to say, man? Like I just want to hear some of them.
Yeah, y'all dig them up, man. They got the crazy. It's hard to think about it. You guys kind of like you got to be in the midst of it to really some of that stuff to come to your mind, especially if you ain't been around it and you ain't been actively in it. You know,
right?
It's kind of like it's hard to remember. They say Steve Smith was the best trash talker ever in Miami and in the Hawks. Let me ask, do y'all all think trash talking should be allowed more in today's NBA? Nowadays, they call it tech. You know what, Eric? They kind of let that stuff slide now, though, man. I've been noticing a lot of that. They letting a lot of that eyeballing go, you know, because they're trying to let the entertainment come back into it. However, you can't talk trash to fans. A la John Morant, he got kicked out the other night.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna allow that. I don't think it's accepted in the league, because of some people can't handle it, and then a fight breaks out. So that's one of the reasons why I know they don't have it, because you don't want violence to happen out there on the court, and then it can lead to off the court, and some other stuff can start happening. So I get that. But sometimes like that gets people going when they talk trash too, right? When you get guys that's talking trash to motivate themselves, to get them pumped, right? To get them going, and that's what they usually do. Most of them, some guys just really want to pick a fight or throw people off their game to do that, the trash talking. But Mike Jordan was, he definitely would say, he would tell players, if you don't talk that trash to me, I'll let you slide with a 30-piece.
Right.
I'll give you a 30-piece, but you start talking trash, now we going up to them 40, 50s. And
right.
he would do it. He would bag it up too.
It's crazy that you would say that, but you got dudes who want to talk that trash, but then they want to fight.
Right.
Like, dog, you can't. What you want to do? I'm gonna whoop your ass on the court, and we put these dukes up, man. What you don't want none of these dukes, man. You get these dukes up, man.
Wow.
Billy lit up Reggie Theus and took his chick while talking shit.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. And Bob, that's another thing, right? That how it used to be. Guys want to bring their ladies to the game, right? Or to the hood, on the court, and then they don't perform on that court, and the girls start looking at the dude who was performing and giving them that eye, like, you just destroyed my dude. And next thing you know, She hitting him up later.
People don't know that part, do they, Liv? They don't know
Man.
that part of the game. These girls, man, don't bring them to the game, dog. And you out there getting raped, man. Like, no, we ain't gonna say raped. I don't want to have to do a public apology, but you out there getting scraped, drugged, and you got your girl, man. Come on, man. When I was in Jackson State, it was this dude, man. I was gonna say his name. Hopefully, you see his name was Kent. Kent was cool as hell, but he had a bad chick in Jackson State. Head down her back, but he used to always bring her to the gym when we was hooping. I used to be like, dude, why are you doing that, man? You know, she was bad. Now I ain't saying I was messing with her. I was just thinking about guys.
Yeah. You ain't mess with her, yeah.
No, I ain't messing with her. Man. Kent was cool.
Yeah.
Man. Kent was cool.
I think Kevin Garnett was a big on trash talk, and I agree. You could tell even when he gets out there, he's pumped. So yeah, we got a question right here too. Another one.
I always say never take a bad chick to a game and you can ball. That's all bad. It happened to be me before. I'm like nasty.
We can't say all that on here. Bodie funny. She funny.
Somebody said your boy Nick Anderson used to say to Michael Jordan, hide the wife and kids.
Hey man, you gotta try to throw him off too a little bit so he won't go at you. But you know, Carl Harris from Chicago, he talked a lot of trash.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, out there in the streets, man.
Sean Wright.
Sean Wright, yeah. It's two
Wright.
Trashes from Chicago that used to talk a lot of trash. That's crazy. Two Trashes. Nickname was Trash, and they both talked a lot of trash.
It was two of them?
Yeah, man. It was two Trashes in Chicago. And I had a guy from my neighborhood, we called him Oso, Sweet Oso. He talked a lot of trash. So I never talked trash personally because I didn't feel that I needed to. I think some people, that's why I say I think some people do it to motivate themselves, you know, to get themselves going. I didn't have to do that.
I think what happens, man, it's initiated. The trash talking is initiated by your opponent more often than not. Because most people go out there to play the game to compete. But it's when they start acting like they shutting you down. And then you just out there cruising because you're not really trying to. Rob, right. Your boy Mike Rags talk trash, big trash. I told him at the beginning of the set, nobody talk more trash than Mike Rags, man. Willie Lee, you from that era. He old school from that era. Back in the 70s, Hashi Rags, and then he was like Steph Curry. We always use Steph Curry because we talk about the greatest shooters. Rags was the greatest shooter I ever seen in the streets, man.
For real?
Bro, he had a fajita, man.
He had a fajita.
Every time he shot it, it hit on net. I used to go home and tell my mama, like, Mama, it's a guy at the park. Every time he shoot, it hits on net.
Wow.
But he's just one of those guys that just perfected the jump. Man, wow. His shit was sweet. Fadeaways, everything. Squared up.
And he left it up. And he left it up there too. He left it up there.
And talking shit, walking back. Talking shit. Get your ass off the court. And I'm talking about he was running them motherfuckers off there.
So he would hit game winners all the time.
Every time.
Wow.
Give it to the jump shot specialist. That's what he used to say. Give it to a mother. I know what to do with this bitch. I mean, this is how Rags used to talk. Rags wasn't no more than about 5'9".
Yeah.
5'9", Lynn.
Yeah.
Could fill it up, bro. So yeah.
And then we had some guys, man, from that Hyde Park area too that talked, you know, some trash, man. Like my man, that just said Jig. My man Jig talked a lot of trash. Man, my man, rest in peace, Ace. A guy named Ace, man, from Hyde Park. Ace used to talk big trash.
He played at Hyde Park and he was streets.
No, he was street guy. He was street guy, man, from Hyde Park area. Right. But man, he talked a lot of trash, man.
Everybody knew when he was coming. It was on.
Man, but he backed it up too, though. Ace,
right.
Ace, he backed it up, man. Yeah, I respect that man, dude, man. But yeah,
But that was a part of it, though. Like you say, you didn't talk trash, but I'm sure once people got to talking to you, Liv, you start talking back now.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to just let them talk. I'm not going to let them talk.
You see how he changed that quick? You see it? Oh, hold on now.
I'm not going to go.
Because I saw Lefty post that video. You just posted a video. Somebody dropped it back to you, went back and like tomahawk slammed it. You weren't talking trash after that?
No, man. I just say, man, you know what? Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. Take that. You know. But I had family that was crazy, man. So they'll be on the sidelines when they watching talking trash, you know, like I remember a guy, you know, started talking trash to me, and my older brother Stretch, man, he had my back 100. No matter where I was hooping, somebody could be talking trash in the stand. I remember one game he came out of the stands and said, "Man, if you don't bust that dude butt, you know, right quick out here on this court, man, because he talking too much." I don't want to use profanity. That's why I said that. But
I'll use it for you.
But he said, if you don't do this, he said, man, and I just turned it on because I'm like,
I remember this story, and I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
You talking about Bobo. You had to get in Bobo's ass, right?
Man, yeah, my brother, he was talking a lot of trash, man. So I had to let him know that, man, this ain't no joke right here.
Hey, Carl Henry, hey, Liv, tell you, hey, we gonna put it out there. It's all about Chicago, Bobo. Boy, you told me you was killing Liv, and Liv telling me on the show his brother told him to tell you apart.
Yeah, I was out there coasting, Bob. Like I was really like
a bill on the coast at the club.
Just coasting, man. But you know what they say? Sometimes you just need to let the beast sleep.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta let the beast sleep. But when you talk, you wake that beast up, and then it's pretty much over.
Yeah. Hey, Hoop, Deion Hoop. Yeah, man. Ben Wilson talked a lot of trash, man. That's what a lot of people don't know. Ben Wilson was very funny. I had the opportunity to practice with that Simeon team my sophomore year when Ben was a junior, and I was in there with him, and he talked plenty trash all the time. Because you had Tim Bankston. Nobody talked more shit at Simeon than Tim Bankston.
Tim Bankston talked trash, definitely.
Chewing gum, talking shit, man. Tim Bankston, man.
I just think, man, that era, man, that
Lil Stevie, your cousin.
Yeah, Steve-O Rice. Yeah. You know, but I just think that era, man, like that the 80s, you know, that generation, you know, they talked a lot of trash, man, that generation.
But that we got that from our forefathers, though, Liv, because, man, all of that stuff carried from the streets, right? So if we're in the streets, you around a lot of different characters. And most of the guys that you played against who shaped your career didn't go to school. They was tough, playing ball, hustling, selling drugs, all type of stuff.
Yeah, and I used to watch, like you said, I used to watch their demeanor out there when they was on the streets, man. It was real cool, talked a little trash, man, made a little money, had the fancy cars, man, had the slick shoes on. You had to do that, and you had to back that up too when you go on the court, you know. So if you dressed like that, you dressed all fly and you can't ball, then they're gonna let you have it. So they had to back it up.
You know what? Well, since we on that, let's talk about that. Who in today's NBA from afar look like they talk no trash? To me personally, I think Ja Morant talks a lot of trash, man. Every time you see him, he putting his hand down like this to somebody. Yeah, you know, like he doing the giddy dance.
Yeah, I would have to ride with him too. I would have to ride with him too, man.
He a throwback. Yeah, he a throwback, ain't he?
Yeah, I love Ja Morant game too, man.
But Liv, this is where I was going.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about that culture, right? We in the parks playing ball in the summertime. The dope boys pull up. All the people with the money, they get out the cars. We out there hooping. The girls walking out there. Everybody talking trash now, right? Because this is the hood. Like people don't know what. Let's talk about that aura that went on in our hoods playing ball. All that stuff, man. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember, man. I remember like it was yesterday, man. You got to think, Bob. I grew up in the projects.
Right,
you know, high rise, right? When the elevators broke, dude, you got to walk up them stairs. And I used to live on the 20th floor. So
that's why you had the bunnies.
And I used to hate when my mom wanted to go grocery shopping on those days. But back to what you was talking about. Yeah, I used to see the slick cars at the sound systems, the rims, and then they'll pull up and we out there hooping and they'll keep their sounds going. So
Right.
we really pump now. So
Right.
we really pump. And then they get out the car with, like I said, with the fresh gear on.
Everything
And
fresh.
Man, and they come out here and say, you know what, I got next. And then somebody already may have next.
Right.
He didn't bump them. Because, he didn't bump
What he
them.
talk?
Like, man, you ain't got next. I got next. What you talking about, Joe? And I'm like, wow, man, he just took my man's spot. Right.
Hey, that's a whole other level of conversation. Bugs used to get their necks taken.
Man, because
You
you
ain't
know they
got
ride
next.
deep. They deep.
Yeah, and then they got the money, so they buying the whole park. Like what everybody want, they paying for everything. Man, get whatever y'all want, man.
Well, and then it came to Bob after that. And I don't know if you were still in Chicago. I know I was gone, but they started getting these high school legends that didn't go on to fulfill their careers. They started getting them and taking them throughout the city, man, and betting on games.
Yeah, man, I know that very well. Cause
Yeah.
my little guy and them, man, they had a team called the Wild Hunters out in the Hunters, man. And I remember Tony McCoy and them had they little stack deck. My little guy them tore that ass up for that money, boy. The Wild Hunters, man. Shout out to them boys.
I think on one of our shows, Ronnie Fields talked about that with him and Jamie Brandon played against each other.
Yeah, for that money.
Yeah, and they said it was a close game, but I think Ronnie said Jamie got him.
Jamie got him. Yeah.
Emmett, my boy Emmett used to hoop and get. He said, man, they would be getting like 5,000-10,000 racks. I'm
They
like,
was paying
damn.
money like it wasn't nothing, man. I remember playing down at Gailey Stadium, and Bimp and them had a team down there, and Mike and Myron them had a team, and they was back then everybody was in the streets now. We ain't gonna say what they were doing, but they was putting money up on them games.
Right.
And it was, man, and it was clear to be said, whoever won, I ain't never make no money, man. I ain't get no pay. I was wearing them niggas out. I ain't get none of that. But they was getting big money. Money was being passed around.
Right. You said you weren't one of those dudes that they put you up under their wing, because they put some of these guys up under their wing and they go all over.
Let me tell you something. Big Jeff and them, the folks in the hood, man, they used to come to my crib and get me, man. They had these dudes coming from the Heights to play in the Hunters. Right. They used to come get me out my bed, Bob. They out here, man. They had to come get me if they want to beat them boys from the Heights. I used to wear them niggas out from the Heights, man, for that money.
So what they did, they didn't give you no kickback.
Man, no, they took care of me, man.
Oh, okay.
They took care of me. I ain't gonna lie, Big Jeff and them, all the tall folks in the Hunters. Shout out to the Hunters, man. Big Jeff and them, Cat Daddy, all of y'all out there took care of me out there. When them boys from the Heights used to come out there thinking it was sweet, man, I used to send them back to the crib, man, packing. These are facts.
Right.
Rashad Griffin, Tommy, Marlo Finner, Charles Briggs Jr., Lamont, Scodilla Cooper.
Now, this is somebody on our Facebook page, Bob. Who is that, right?
Let me see whose name.
Who said that? Because we can't see who that is that's putting that up there, because you need StreamYard to accept that, and then because I want to give him a shout out, man, who putting this up.
Man, I don't see I can't see the name.
Is that Bo Rab? Bo Rab said it's him.
Oh, Bo Rab, what's up with it, man?
Bo Rab ain't even on the StreamYard, man. Bo Rab, man, you tripping, dude.
You tripping, man.
Don't let me have to come out there, man, and where you cutting your hair at now, man.
Hey, Bo Rab. Speaking of Bo Rab, I got something that's gonna freak you out, Bo Rab. Check this picture out. This just happened like 30 minutes ago, bro. I watched this though, bro. I'm finna freak your head out. You're a baseball enthusiast, Bo Rab. Tell me who this is. I just took this picture with this gentleman at a yoga class. You see that guy?
You can't see it. You can't see it, Bob. It's too light. You're gonna have to dim that. That's better.
You see that guy? You can't hardly see it, but anyway. Man, that's Jim Thome, man. One of the greatest all-time home run hitters in the history of Major League Baseball, man. Over 600 home runs, something like that, man. I just got through doing yoga with him, chopping it up with him. Man, Jim Thome, man. We got into it when we played in the West Side tournament. Me, Liv, Durrell, Hamilton, Steve-O, Big Jeff, Uncle Sonny. They were ready to fight.
Yeah. That's what my cuz Hat Man, you know, he was from the West Side. So they would always, you know, do these games. It was Randy Brown and his crew and his brother against June Tate and them, man. And we on the West Side hooping, man. That's why, man, I love hooping, man. And I think that's what made basketball in Chicago basketball to me, because you would go anywhere. We was on the West Side, man, hooping against Randy Brown and Lowell Hamilton and they crew, man. And it was a good game. And they ended up beating us. And that's when I think the fight, you know, started, because I think we was like, man, they cheated, you know. And you got that one.
You go on the road, you getting cheated.
And you always got that low rim on one side and the high rim on the other side. Right. And they got that low rim on the second half.
And they closed out on y'all. There was some dope spots to hoop in Chicago. I remember back in the 80s, man, we used to go to Visitation. You remember Visitation down on 55th?
In the streets, to both of y'all, what is the craziest fight you ever seen that you can remember?
Lene Johnson, I'm not sure, but looking at your picture, I'm going to figure something out. No, I'm just kidding.
Now this boy trying to spit game.
No, but, you know, I seen plenty of fights, man. It was a guy, man. This is like my big bro. No lie. Since we talking the streets, it's the street. My boy Hollywood spent his whole life in and out of the penitentiary, but he always seemed to get out in the summertime. For some reason, Hollywood, he was big, but he could box too. So nobody wanted to fight Hollywood because when we hoop, we know he can box.
Right.
Man, I seen Hollywood, man, whoop a dude, man, so bad on the court, man. And nobody wanted to break it up because Hollywood could box. And it was unfair, man. So, but Hollywood, he ended up getting older and started getting a little drunk and all that. So people was like, well, one of my guys, Brad, come up to him because he got into it with him too. He's like, Bob, look at Hollywood. I could beat his ass now.
That's too funny, dude.
Hey, you gotta be careful what you do in your past, boy. Be professional, boo. No gaming me up. Yeah, man, it's all good.
No, I saw, man. I actually saw some people, man. Like, guy was talking trash in the wrong neighborhood, and I just seen like pretty much everybody just get on this guy, man, and beat the dog breaks off of him, man. You know, and that's bad. And it was sad, man, because he ain't had no help, you know. So that's why I say you got to be careful if you come into somebody hood and you solo. You can't talk trash like that. You can't talk trash like that.
I remember that almost happened to me, man, on 76 and King Drive. Like 76 and King Drive, back when we was like in high school days around that time. I went down there to hoop my little guy, Lil Rich. I don't know if y'all remember Lil Rich, he ended up dying. He went to Simeon, he went to Mendel with me. Lil Rich, him and Ben Wilson was connected to the hip. Anyway, went down there, man, I turned they park out. I'm talking trash and everything. All I could hear was them saying, man, who is this, man? You know, like they was ready to whoop me. And if it wasn't for Lil Rich, I'd have got whooped that day, man. Straight up. Wow. So shout out, rest in peace to my little homie, Lil Rich. You know, you saved me that day, boy.
Wow, that's crazy, Bob. That's crazy. Yeah, but you got to watch it, man. You got to know, you got to actually know when to talk trash. You know, you can't just do it everywhere, you know, and unless you got some backup, you know, some cats with you, you know, some dudes with you, man, because it can get ugly. But the NBA, you know, Larry Bird was a trash talker. I heard a lot, you know. I just heard plenty of stories, you know, people saying that he used to say, like, you ain't never seen a white boy play like this. You know, and back it up, you know, like, and then you saw that one playoff game. I think it was a playoff game. He told the guy exactly where I'm gonna go shoot the shot at. You know, he's like, I'm gonna get this game over with. I'm tired of these overtimes. I'm gonna fake this way, and then I'm gonna turn baseline, fade away, and I'm gonna end the game. And he did it.
Larry Legend got an ultimate. He got a great story too, Liv. The fact that he dropped out of Indiana. Remember, he hitchhiked home to India. He was working on the garbage truck.
If somebody need to do a up to date, like today's. I don't know if they did a documentary on him. I think I remember seeing a story on him once before, but I think somebody should need to do documentary on him.
On Larry Legend, man.
Man,
He dropped out of Indiana because he wasn't willing to deal with Bobby Knight. He stayed at home. The coach, what was it, Bob Huggins? Who was that? Not Bob Huggins. Who was that? They kept coming to his house at Indiana State. He ended up getting to come to Indiana State.
Yeah.
He was working on the garbage truck. He dropped out of school.
Yeah, and see that. So see, he remembered. Man remembered. That was Xavier McDaniels. He did that again.
Yeah, he sure did.
You know, so but man, it's stories like that I love to hear, man. When you see a guy that you don't expect to talk a lot of trash, and then he end up talking a lot of trash.
Right. Shaq Jones, you say you seen Larry Bird talk in person? You personally heard him ask a player, could you imagine if I was black?
I heard that too, Bob. I heard that exact same story, man. That he said, you ain't never seen a player like me. I play like a black person, don't I?
But they say he used to do that when he was working on the garbage truck. They would
that's what we play with. Yeah,
they play with the brothers because they were all working on the garbage truck down in Frisnick, Indiana.
Right. I heard
Larry
those
Bird
stories.
He got a great story, man.
Yeah, I remember that. And Magic. Yeah, we forgot about Magic. Magic talked but he did it in a slick way, you know.
Yeah.
Magic did it in a slick way.
Yeah. I remember watching Magic Johnson. He was talking about Michael Jordan when he went to the hole. He was like, he went to the hole and he put it in this hand and he said, oh no, wait a minute. He stuck his tongue out and then he switched it on us and reversed it. He said, Magic was like, oh no, he ain't finna do this on us. No, the hell he ain't. Yes, he is. Magic's a great storyteller too, man.
Yeah, he is. That's one of my all-time favorite basketball players, Magic.
Oh, somebody put one up about Dennis Rodman. You see that? Moni put that question up.
No, I don't see it. Hold on.
Is it true?
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. He definitely said that.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna put it up?
No, you can just read it.
Okay, so Moni said, is it true Dennis Rodman said if Bird was black, he would be the average player, and Isaiah Thomas co-signed that. He absolutely did. Dennis Rodman absolutely said that. And then when they had to sit down and talk about it, that conversation went bad very quick. You remember that, Lynn?
I don't remember that one. Remember that one.
When when Dennis Rodman said if Bird was black, he'd be an average basketball player.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember Isaiah co-signing it. That's all.
Isaiah Thomas definitely co-signed it, and then they had to sit down with Bird and talk about it. It's on the internet. I seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bird got up and walked out of there like, for real, y'all making us do this, man? Because Bird was like, I don't care about this.
Right. Oh, yeah. I do remember that now. I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. And Bird said, man, it's all good.
Yeah, Bird was like,
kept it moving.
I don't care. People don't understand. Bird was really like black on the inside because he was tough. And not saying white guys are not tough. We're just saying his style of playing, his mentality, you could tell he had played a lot of street ball. You could tell. Bird was 6'9".
Yeah, Bird was. I'm trying to read this comment somebody said. It says you're called to Landon Cox. I don't know what they saying after that. A lot of shit.
I don't see it.
A lot of talking. This is one of the Facebook. It might be Bo Rad again. Here it go.
He said, did Landon Cox talk a lot of trash?
Oh, yeah, man. Cox talk big trash, man. Like, I'm going to tell you, when we played Simeon in the city championship, right? This is in the huddle, right? We in the huddle, right? We getting close to winning the game. He said, yeah, I heard that they already booked their hotel reservations. So we might as well just take theirs. We don't even have to book ours. We just take their reservation. And I was like, Coach, man, you crazy. You crazy, man.
And what year was that?
That was 86.
Oh, 86.
That was 86.
And y'all ended up beating them?
because everybody had Simeon shoe in to win it, right?
To win the city.
To win the city, and we got Cox did. He threw out everything, man, to pump us up, man. Like, man, they don't give y'all enough respect, this and that, whoop. And man, he said that, man. He said, yeah, they already got their reservations, man, booked. Like they was gonna beat us.
You know, Simeon booked their reservations a year in advance because they used to get down there.
Yeah.
My guy calls me every year. That's crazy you would say that.
Yeah, they said that, and I think the last two, 86 and 87, they had to cancel those reservations.
How about Bill Russell in the World Championship against the Lakers? The Lakers had Will Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and Mr. Clutch on the same team. They was gonna win. They was prepared to win. Finally dethrone Boston in LA that year. They had the Panthers out all on the seats. Bill Russell go talk for. Will was gonna talk first. Then,
Right.
and they asked Bill Russell. They brought it into him. They said, "How do you feel about this? They already got the program set. The Lakers gonna win the title. They got the balloons in the air." Bill Russell looked up at him. He said, "They're gonna have a hell of a time getting the balloons out of the Raptors one at a time." And they ended up beating them.
The legend.
And Will Chamberlain's like, to this day, I don't know how the hell we lost. They had Mr. Clutch, what's my man's name? Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and Will Chamberlain. There was no way they were supposed to lose that game. They were 69-13 that year, I believe. They pulled a Steph Curry now. Yeah, Bill Russell, he was the ultimate trash talker. We lost him this year. Did we lose him this year? Love with Kenny McReynolds, but in high school, did you think he was biased against King?
Well, Kenny was on the radio, and he would. Kenny is my man. Kenny Mack is my man, and I just think that a lot of people didn't like Coach Cox because he had a lot of players that had the talent, right? And people used to say, well, they don't teach the fundamentals, right? And that wasn't like sexy to a lot of fans, like a lot of people, watching King go up, dunking on people, no look passes, crossing over between the legs. He let us be us, and I think a lot of people, and Kenny Mack Reynolds had the mic, so he would say who he wanted to win or who he thought was going to win. So I remember that city championship game Kevin is talking about, and what he's actually talking about, he was giving Simeon a whole lot of credit, like their guards were smarter than ours, and this and that, and they're gonna beat King, and we had Reginald King, aka my man Cato, Emmett Lynch, that wasn't getting a lot of publicity throughout the city. It was always, who's that further out south, the Tim Hardaways and the Dion Butlers and those guys, and Cato and them just got fed up, man. So Kenny McReynolds in a way helped motivate them. Yeah, lit the fire because they kept. We hear that. We on the radio, man. Kenny Mack, he's doing the sports, BMX sports.
Yeah. He ain't said y'all name that time.
Man, he would say it, but it'd be so quick you couldn't even hear it. And King, he's gone. And then these long subjects on Simeon, long subjects, man. So yeah, these guys got tired of it, man. Who Scoop got something, man?
Cato went to work in that game. Fellas, your thoughts. Okay, Suns owner bought the Suns for $400 million. So with him being banned and punished for racial and other stuff, Maz Isbaya just bought the Suns for $4 billion. So even though he got banned or whatever, he got $4 billion. He won, right? Well, Hoop Scoop, you absolutely right. If you got $400 million, somebody give you $4 billion, man. Now you're 600. What is it? 3 billion.
But
3 billion 600 million.
400 million. So in other words, he got rewarded. He didn't get punished. He got rewarded. because if he brought the team for 400 million and then sold it for 4 billion, he got rewarded. And now he's cool. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta say nothing else about me no more. I done got $4 billion and I'm going to the bank.
He got
I'm going to the bank.
3 billion. 3 billion 600
Bob, you ain't gotta add it up.
It's 3 billion 600 million. 3 billion 600 million. I'm like, dang, what a profit, man, in one day. And I guarantee you, he still got some ownership with that team. He's just gonna go back and be quiet.
Well, my thing is with that, I would hope that the NBA would say some of that money you should donate to some charity. Charity.
Like Liberty's Edge.
And they ain't got to do with my charity, but I'm just saying, like, to help, the communities, throughout the U.S. That's a lot of bread you got, man. So donate some of that money, man. Whatever you did or got into some trouble about at the job, and then you turn around and sell your team for more money, than you bought it for, and you go. I'm out your head.
What do you think about that, man? It's been a history of this going on lately with these owners saying things and having to sell their teams. Now, we've seen this several times now. Why are we so surprised with this, man?
Because like we always said, people always, and our guests always say it too, that racism exists. Until people who I just think sometimes we as a people don't get it, and we talk bad about each other, and instead of trying to stick together on some things, some ideas, and trying to make good things happen. And I'm not saying all people like that, So it's a few of us that thinks like that. And I think we need to come together and find one common ground to help each other, be more productive, and maybe one day we can start owning these teams and controlling the narrative of what we think and what we want to see, out there on that court.
Yeah. And we got a couple of comments I was looking at on him, YouTube. Man, shout out to the show with Terry Cummings.
Yep, I just saw that one.
Marcus Dwyer, Cheryl Cook. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Me and Lynn, we always sitting back trying to figure out how we can do better with it. We're not taking it for granted because we enjoy it. So it's not like we're doing this thing just to pass time. We enjoy basketball.
We enjoyed having those guests on there, man, because to hear their stories, it just brings back fond memories of when we saw them play on the court. Like when I was listening to Terry Cummings talk, and then Mark Aguirre talk, and then you go back and you YouTube some of those videos and see Mark Aguirre palming that ball off the ground and doing a Statue of Liberty and then flicking it with a finger roll. It was sick, man. So shout out.
How about the narrative, man? The beauty of the relationship, the big brother, little brother dynamic that existed during that interview, and the mutual respect that they have for each other and the admiration. Like, I think nowadays we're afraid to show that. The human aspect of it. Like, hey, man, this is my brother. We competed together. Because they was warm towards each other to the point where, like, we was like, me and you damn near didn't have no questions.
No, I mean, we didn't need no questions, man. I told you, anytime when you get two guests on at the same time that have a lot of things to talk about, you don't have to say nothing. You let them go. You let them ride. And that's why I said we're not one of those shows where we've got questions written down of what we wanted to ask. We just let people flow. We, like Cheryl Cook, when she came on, she was flowing. It's
dominant.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, that's a good question. Talk about them pro-ams in Chicago in the 80s and 90s. Someone got to have footage on them. I actually know a guy that's supposed to have a gang of footage on them. And then, buddy, Lefty Boy got some footage on those games.
Shay, those games was epic. And I don't think it's some people like Chucky Vision got a lot of it. Chucky Vision got a lot of. I think what they doing is they waiting because they're gonna do a documentary on Chicago basketball. I truly believe that that's going to happen. So that's why they're keeping these videos, tight and wrapped because they want to save it for the documentary. Shay Jones, we already had Kendall Gill and Nick Anderson on the show. You got to go back and look at some of our shows on YouTube. We had both of those guys on.
Maybe we can get them both on at the same time.
Well, it's basketball season for both of them now.
Yeah.
So be kind of hard to get both of them on at the same time. But yeah, we had both of them on, Shay, already. What's your thoughts? Okay, let's go to this one.
What's your thoughts on Anthony Davis' injury? Is it worse than they thought? Some are saying it feared to be like the Chet Holmgren injury. I'm not familiar with it. What happened?
I just know he got hurt. I didn't see it either that was happening with it, but I did see that they said it was his foot. But I can't speak on that one. High baller hoop, high baller hoop, because I really didn't pay a lot of attention to it. If that's the case, then yeah, and he's up there in age, it's probably going to be harder for him to, recover from that injury. So
somebody tell me what is that? The Chet Holmgren's injury. What's that?
It's a foot when he hurt his foot.
Okay.
That's the number one player taken in the draft, wasn't it?
Okay, right. Okay, so they got the same injury.
Yeah.
Let me see what injury that is, though. Somebody, it came right up.
Yeah. So my man Kevin Haywood said Chucky Vision definitely have footage. I do know that. I didn't seen footage from when I used to go over Chucky Vision house, man, and he had all type of footage from the Pro-Am with Michael Jordan and Mo Cheeks and Mark Aguirre. Man, it was crazy. I used to just go over his crib just to watch this footage that he had.
That's crazy, man. I think that and this is just me. If you're gonna do the documentary, let's do the documentary. Don't hold Chicago hostage. Put it out.
It's gonna come. Watch it, man. It's gonna be fire too. It's gonna be lit too when it comes. I already know it's gonna be lit. But yeah, man, it's you still thinking that team that you said was going to win it all, gonna win it?
I got the Lakers in provided AD come back. AD got to come back healthy. But I got the Lakers in Boston in the finals, bro.
Oh boy, the Lakers really?
Yeah, I got it. I for some reason.
What you think? Kareem and Magic and Shaq and Kobe about to walk through the?
No, I just know statistically, Bron don't stay removed from the finals for 2 years in a row. He usually miss 1 year, he come back. So I'm looking at that. And but if AD not healthy, then of course not. But the Lakers is as good as anybody in the West right now.
Right.
When they playing well, right?
Right. What happened, dude? You said you was gonna talk about the Illinois teams.
What's Illinois team?
You said DePaul is not doing well.
Yeah, we supposed to. Yeah.
You said Illinois is not doing well. What's the problem? What do you think the problem is? Because Illinois played good against UCLA and Texas.
Right. I just think it's a difference of matchups. It's a difference of ball. But then you said a couple of those teams are hurt. A couple of players are hurt, right?
Check this out. Somebody must have heard some of these things you talked about with the Lakers. Look what they said.
Bob, you need a drug test. Hey, Shy Jones, listen, man. The Lakers is as good as anybody right now when they help. I got them. They can definitely beat Golden State fully loaded. Mo Cheeks would be a great guess. Anybody seen Hersey Hawkins? That would be another great guess. Those type of guys, they don't really do a lot of talking, man.
Right. Oh man,
we were lucky to get Santos.
Yeah. It was the boys. No, we know people that know people to get those type of guys. But Mo Cheeks, we could probably get Mo Cheeks. Mo Cheeks' brother passed away, but Mo Cheeks' brother played with me at King, Terrence Cheeks. Rest in peace to Terrence Cheeks. So I used to go over to Cheeks' dad's house, Maurice Cheeks' dad's house, all the time, man, and hear stories about Mo Cheeks. You know, they grew up in the Mo Cheeks grew up in the Robert Taylors and went to DuSable High School.
Right.
And so I used to hear mad stories about him, how quick and his IQ and understanding of the game, man, was like off the charts. Bo Rad says, send him some of that stuff, Rob. That you got. Everybody know you on something, man. They start high baller hoop. He said, Rob. He said, Rob gotta be on them and that good stuff.
I want to see what y'all gonna say at the end of the season if the Lakers is healthy. I want to see what about all these jokes gonna be around when it's Boston and the Lakers in the finals, man. The NBA right now, there's no clear-cut champions right now. Who you gonna go with? Who y'all picking? I want to know. Golden State, he hurt. I ain't talking sleeper shot, Jones. Who you got? Blow the Bulls team up. I'm with you on that. I can't even see Cleveland winning a title in my lifetime.
Wow.
That probably won't happen other than when Brown was there. The NBA gravitate to names, stuff like that, popularity, who can sell the most merchandise. That's what the NBA is all about. It's time for them to renew that matchup. That's their biggest dollar amount right now if they could get them Lakers in Boston back in the finals. Other than that, it would be KD and them. But I don't think they will put Brooklyn in the finals because of all the stuff with Kyrie. So I'm just saying it's a business, y'all. Watch what I tell you. I could be wrong. I'm willing to go out on the line, and I guarantee.
So you saying Boston and the Lakers?
Right now, Boston and the Lakers will yield the NBA the revenue that they need to be able to be in the finals. Lakers are not coming out of the West. Sorry, Rob. Demetri, who you got? Who you got, man?
You gonna tell them to put some money on it?
Nope. I ain't gonna bet. Nope.
Look what somebody said. Oh boy, they killing you, Bob. They killing you. No, man. Somebody said Denver and Boston.
Only thing is, man, the sad part about it, I would just say Denver is just not sexy. You know, nobody's gonna watch that. Nobody's gonna watch Denver in the finals, man.
You see what Bo Rap said, Milwaukee and Memphis.
You know what? As much as I love Memphis, I could probably say Milwaukee maybe. But Memphis, they're not a big ticket. Everybody can shoot better than the Lakers. Jamal, you wrong for that, bro.
Oh man, they killing you, Bob. Shea
Come
killing
on.
you.
LB is not for LeBron James anymore. It stands for losing, Bob.
Wow, man, they going in on you, Bob.
Shaq Jones, we're gonna see who laughs first never laughs last. Y'all remember the phrase from Confucius, whoever that was.
So
come on, who else y'all got? Come on, I'm with it. Oh, somebody said I was a huge Sixers fan. Okay, there we go. I was a huge Sixers fan back in the 80s. Of course, Dr. J was my guy. I heard a lot Mo Cheeks had 3 eyes. The third eye was in the middle of his head, and he only saw Dr. J. I always said Cheeks was a small man. Give me the rock to Dr. J.
That's a good one. Carol, that's a good one. That's a good one. That was a good one.
All he see is Doc right at the middle. Hey, that kept Mo Cheeks in the league, boy.
Man.
Kept him in the league. Which they ultimately eclipsed, who was that, the Celtics to win it? No, the Lakers. Who did Philly beat that year? Dwayne Kevin. Who is dominating the high school hoops right now? Honestly, I do not know, man. I don't know.
Is Simeon doing it?
I haven't followed.
I know a lot of the private schools are doing real well in Chicago. You know, Kendall Gill's son over there at St. Ignatius. They doing some pretty good things. I think Whitney Young still is being mentioned, you know, as one of the top tier teams. You know, you got to throw in Kenwood, of course. I don't hear too much about Morgan Park no more ever since the Irvins left. But I would definitely say uh, Simeon and Kenwood and Whitney Young.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't even speak on it, man. I don't have no more dogs in the fight. Marcus and Rob, y'all know that Barnes kid y'all had on y'all show with his pops. Wonder why they don't play him. He played at Michigan. Yeah, man, Isaiah Barnes, man, we like him a lot. He's a special kid. I've been watching him since freshman year of high school. He started at Romeoville High School. Then he went to Morgan Park. We went to Oak Park. And then he ended up going out to Simeon. And sometimes, this is just my opinion, I love his dad. I love his family. I just wish he would have went to a smaller school where he could get the rock. Like, he would have been a featured guy if he'd have went somewhere like Western or Illinois State.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you just don't know. Like I think you get in the moment, right? You think about the now, like my son is going there now, but then in the future, you got to think Juwan Howard had a son, you know, two sons that plays at Michigan, and one of them is a two guard. Jet is a two guard, so he came over and took some minutes away from those guys who was, you know, waiting for the opportunity to come. So I see a little bit of that happening with our guy Isaiah. And then you get caught in the numbers. You know, it becomes a number game. I can't find minutes. You know, you see that all the time in basketball. Like, I was one of those dudes when I went to Illinois, you know, playing with that great team in '86. You know, I played 18 to 20 minutes, but that ain't enough minutes to really get you in some good rhythm, you know, and it was hard. So I had to play behind certain guys, you know, before my time came my junior year. So you got to be patient. You know, if you feel it's not a good fit, then yeah, I think he should, you know, leave. I definitely think he should leave. All right, somebody got a question about DePaul.
DePaul with Big Mark and TC and company was the original 5-5 before Michigan. I mean, you had Terry Cummins, Mark Aguirre, Teddy Grubbs, Skip Dillard, and Terry Bradshaw. Clyde Bradshaw. Yeah, they was tough, man. They was tough. But like Mark said, if they'd have moved him to the 2 and brought Teddy Grubbs into that starting lineup, because I just keep hearing about
Teddy Grubbs. They did do that. That's what they were talking about. Like, they did do that, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, they changed it up, and that's what happened. You know, I think Mark was saying he wished they would have kept it. Jamal wants to know, Marcus, did Javon play in the G League showcase? Yes, the Bulls, the Windy City Bulls are actually playing the championship game. Today at 3:30 on ESPN2.
I'm gonna watch that.
And young fella's coming. Yeah, young fella coming off the bench, and he's productive. Javon is definitely productive coming off the bench for the Windy City. I mean, of course, you know me. I feel that he should be starting, but I'm not the coach, you know. But yeah, he's a walking bucket, man. The kid can score, elite scorer. Just need an opportunity, man. That's all. Need an opportunity. But the minutes he's getting like those 20 minutes a game. He's producing. He's definitely producing. So Jamal, yeah, definitely check him out. Check him out.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to be living in your dream. And that's what people don't understand a lot of times. As Mike Irvin been on the show, he turns Kenwood's program around. Yeah, we had the whole Irvin family.
We definitely had the whole Irvin family.
Man. Oh, man, we laughed so hard on that show, man. I still remember that show to this day. If you go back on YouTube, I think you got it up on YouTube, right?
I think we do. If not, I can post that up
It's
there.
up there. It's up there. I saw it. Make
Yeah,
sure y'all go to All Ball Chicago on YouTube, man. Type it in, man. There's a few of them up there that y'all haven't seen.
Yeah, Bernard Randolph was a hell of a player, man, at DePaul.
I love Bernard Randolph. He can shoot, man.
You think about that era of basketball. Illinois, had Eddie Johnson, who played with Mark, I think, at Westinghouse. He was at Illinois. You had Mark at DePaul. Then you had some good players, with Bradley University in Peoria, in those early years too, in the 80s. Mitchell J.J. Anderson, rings a bell when we talk about the old days. And people don't give them enough credit, man. Those guys that had the opportunity to go to big schools and ended up going to small schools because they wanted to make sure they played and got the proper minutes and got, a chance to showcase their talent. Some people pick schools and colleges just because of the name. And when they get there, they don't understand that why they're not playing, because it's a setup, really. When you see certain teams on television a lot, and of course everybody wants that, but it's not possible for everybody to have that, right? So when they recruit you and they start talking all this good stuff, and you get there and then you realize that it's a numbers game now because they got 5, 6, 8, 10 All-Americans.
Hey, Glenn, give me the script. You recruiting me.
5.
You recruiting me.
5.
I'm a 5-star. You want me to come to Marcus Liberty University? What's your script?
Man, the script has always been the same, man. I would love to have you, on my team. We're gonna make sure we take care of you. You're gonna be that guy. You my guy. You my guy. And I have to have you. And I'm gonna sit here and tell Miss Reed that I'm gonna make sure your son is in good hands, and with your blessings, I would love to have and be able to coach your son. And then they go to the next person and sell that same script to the next person. Mr. Roberts, oh yeah, we love your son, and I'm going to make sure we take good care of him. And he's a good kid. He's going to be in good hands. Trust me when I tell you that.
And then when they go to the next one, they say
same thing. They just change it up a little bit, the words up a little bit. Your kid now, he's definitely a 5-star player, and I think he fits really good with us. But you give me that opportunity to mentor him, then I'll do my best to get him to where he needs to go.
Oh boy!
With the help of you and your husband, I would love to be the one to coach your son.
I lived and heard it all.
Man, I heard it all, dude, man. And then the kids don't understand that, man. They just said that same script to 500 other kids,
Wow.
to try to get one on the hook. It's like you throwing out bait, right? To see which one gonna bite on that bait, and you pretty much know you got it.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Demetrius said that Teddy Grubbs played high school ball in Chicago. Yes, he did. He played at M.L. King High School. That's the same high school that I attended.
I remember my visuals of Teddy Grubbs. Was he athletic though? Wasn't he very athletic?
Man, they said the guy was 6'9", Bob, with handles, can shoot, silky smooth, and man, to see what happens, like we don't know like what could have happened, if he didn't have those mental breakdowns that he had. So I heard a lot of stories about him.
I was just going to say, I heard a lot of different stories of what led to that. But since we don't have the facts.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about I heard a lot of stories about how cold he was on the court. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into the other part because only he knows really. To me, He knows. Yeah, Teddy. This dude got Old Spice. This dude got an Old Spice. Yeah, this might say Teddy Grubbs could run like a guard. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate, man. Not everybody get a chance to slide through that. I see. What was Skip Dillard from Chicago? I don't know.
Skip Dillard, yeah.
He was from the West Side, right?
West Side with the Westinghouse. Mark,
Right.
that was Mark's best friend.
Mark Aguirre?
No, Mark Lopez. Yeah, Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre, yeah, Mark Aguirre.
No, man. I thought you were talking about Mark Lopez. What does Isaiah Thomas want Michael Jordan to say sorry about? And I just wonder, why is Isaiah Thomas Sr. almost obsessed with Jordan? In an interview yesterday, he talked about Jordan again. You know, I just think that
I think I saw parts of that interview when he said that his nephew stayed with Mike too, and all that. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, man, you got to go check that one out, Bob. That one's a little deep. The way Isaiah Thomas said that Mike was basically protected. He protected Mike, helped protect him because, Mike Isaiah from the West Side, he was like, man, we basically gave you a pass, and help you get situated because them people was going to come at you. And so, yeah, he said sister did some stuff for Mike, helped Mike out. And Isaiah said his family opened up their doors for Mike, really helped him out a lot when he first came to Chicago. That's what he said on one of those shows. So, yeah, I saw that, Eric. I did see the show. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that situation. I just know both of them was cold on that basketball court. Isaiah Thomas was, coming from Chicago. We used to watch Isaiah Thomas a lot hoop and do his thing, but I don't know. I don't know really what he wants, but they both grown and they can do what they choose to.
Well, like Mark said, we don't know what the heck going on with that. Both of these guys, we know it ain't money. We know that. It's just hard to say what them dudes is up to, man.
Right. Yep. But yeah, Pooh said Isaiah Thomas said his sister hung out with Jordan and Isaiah's nephew lives with him. Yep. See, Pooh saw it. I saw that same interview, Pooh. And it's I don't know, man. We talk about it. They talk about it so much, that even about the documentary that they came out with about Mike and what he said. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on.
But it's much to do with nothing. It really is. Because in Isaiah Thomas' defense, the year that they beat Boston, Larry Bird walked right off the court. Only person shook his hand and he pulled him was Kevin McHale. We saw that. The year Detroit beat Boston, Larry Legend, Robert Parrish walked off the court.
Right. No, I don't, man. I don't want to get caught up in that stuff, man. So they'll figure it out, get over it, or get over it, right? If they want to, mend the gap and talk and squash it or whatever they want to do, they can do it. They grown men.
And if they need a mediator, Michael and Isaiah, since y'all so wealthy, y'all can give me $2 million apiece, and I'll sit and listen to both of y'all sides.
They're gonna be looking at you like, man, what is he doing in here? What the hell is he doing in here? Isn't that dude on All Ball Chicago? What is he doing here?
Yeah. Man, but Liv, man, I got to get ready to go to work, man. I got to actually work my job. Ronnie Fields played with Kevin Garnett at Farragut. He was a player who had some hops. He was in a college and then after his senior year. Do you guys remember if he was going to go to college or straight to the pros?
Yeah, he signed with DePaul. He committed to DePaul. So he was definitely going to DePaul for at least 1 year. I know that for a fact. He was going there for at least 1 year. Who can the fans maybe look forward to the next week? Oh, she wants to know who we got coming up on the next week.
Well, we're going to give y'all a couple names. We're going to drop some names. Of course, they plugged it with Mateen Cleaves. Also, we got Mad Max.
Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell. We got Terry Mills. We got who else we got? Gary Payton.
Pooh Richardson. The legend, the UCLA legend, Isaiah Ryder. We working on who we gonna get the next week. So
Greedy, that's Mills guy. We working on him too. Yeah, we got Sean Higgins and all of them guys from Michigan. So we got a plethora of guys, man, that's lined up. But today we want to just hop on and chop it up, man.
Ron, we definitely got in touch with Mateen, but Mateen hasn't responded with the email yet. So we waiting on his email. Once we get his email back, then it's a go. Also, we got a guy from Chicago that we almost know we can get next week. We trying to see if he could come on for sure. His name is Vince Carter, not the Vince Carter that everybody thinks about that when he go on the dunk contest. It's a guy out of Chicago who runs a youth basketball program and who's been doing it for a very long time. I would love to get him on just to hear some of his thought process of where the game is at now and where it was when he was, coaching and doing his thing. So yeah, Vince Carter, his name. Thinking about getting him on.
That's what's up.
Salute, man. Yeah, definitely salute to Hoop Baller Hoop Scoop. He be tagging a lot of NBA guys and WNBA guys for us.
Girls.
And girls, yeah. And we love it, man, that he's doing that for us too.
Absolutely, man.
Much love to all those guys.
Oh, yeah, man. All ball Chicago or nothing, man. All ball Chicago or nothing. Like, you watch those other podcasts, they don't even put y'all comments up, man. They don't even recognize y'all. We recognize y'all. See?
Right. So shout out to everybody who tuned in today, and Merry Christmas, because we won't see you to after the Christmas holiday. So Merry Christmas to all. I hope you have done all your Christmas shopping, and Rob said he'd spend about 10 stacks. He said he'd spend about 10 stacks on his kids. So
see how people can tell a straight face. He's good.
Yeah, man. But Merry Christmas to you all, and definitely
what you want for Christmas, bro? Let's what would be on your wish list, your ultimate wish list for Christmas, and I'll get mine and you get yours.
Man, just continue happiness for sure, man. Like a gift can't do nothing for me, really, man. That's stuff that you can open and you be okay with that day. But just happiness, man, for me, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm with that on the health side of the game. I stay healthy. I just want to stay healthy.
No doubt.
That's it.
All right, man. Well, you go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. I got to go train some kids, man, and we enjoyed, being on the show again. I enjoyed you, brother, and
always, Marcus,
Pooh, and all you great people. Continue to shine the light on each other, lift each other up.
Make sure y'all go get that device, man, for y'all people, man. Go over there, swing over there and get the device, www.culturedevices.com. Make sure y'all swing over there and get that. Robbie, you got some handsome son. Thank you, Mona. You saw me with them on my TikTok.
Yeah, so we'll end on that one, man. You got some handsome sons. Too bad she didn't say nothing about you, but it's all good.
Got the legend, the NBA veteran, the McDonald All-American, your host Marcus living in the building, man. You be good, big fella.
For sure.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Chicago, all ball, Chi-Town.